another episode of On the Patio. I'm Dean, and today we have the distinct pleasure and privilege of introducing, wait, he doesn't need an introduction, but I'll do it just the same, Mr. Buck Johnson, live via Skype in Nashville, Tennessee.
What's up, all? What's up, everybody? Hi.
Hey, Buck. Good to have you here, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you.
You're my pleasure, our pleasure, actually. So in a nutshell, because I know you're pressed for time, you've got a flight to catch here very shortly, as you normally do if you're not in the studio. But I know you're pressed for time today, and we're very grateful that you do have a few moments before you jet off. But man, you're back in the saddle again.
Yeah.
Aerosmith is cranking up for residency in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And those boys are most deserving of all the attention and accolades that they're getting. And you know, you're with Hollywood Vampires.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm really grateful for all the opportunities. I've been with Aerosmith going on 5 years, and last year, Joe Perry, who's in the Hollywood Vampires, lead guitarist for Aerosmith, reached out to me and on a conference call with him and Johnny Depp, they asked me to join the Hollywood Vampires, and we did a summer tour, did Europe, and it was an amazing experience. And so in between the Vegas residencies with Aerosmith, the Vampires will probably do some runs. Have some announced shows on the West Coast starting first 2 weeks of May. So the first residency with Aerosmith starts April 6th. Second residency will start in mid-June, around I think June 15th or 17th, and but it's all listed. You can find it on the website or it's through MGM. So, but we're really excited about it. Yes, the Aerosmith guys, they deserve it. Almost 50 years as a band, same five guys, which is an incredible thing. And so this is going to be a special event if you get the chance to come. You know, it'll be worthwhile. It's some of the same people who worked on the Beatles Love Show in Las Vegas. Giles Martin, George Martin's son, is working on it. So a lot of cool special effects, really cool sound system, and you know, what can I say? It's going to be special. So looking forward to it.
That's great, man. All the best to you on that, and all the best to all the players in both groups, because there's a lot of cross-pollination, if you will, of the players and the musicians and the decades, you know, with the Vampires. I mean, there's decades of music, and you've got decades of music. You know,
well, yeah, I mean, I started when I was a kid singing in gospel music with my family in Alabama. So, you know, started as a kid, so that was a while ago. But I'm really grateful that I get to make a living doing what I love, and I get to work with guys who show how it's done. You know, Alice Cooper is a legend and a gentleman, and still going strong. So I take notes and learn.
Obviously, the mantra that he only includes the best in his circle certainly holds true.
Well, you know, that makes me feel good to hear him say that, because I'm really fortunate to be there. But yeah, you know, he's a good leader and a mentor. So
sure.
And so is Steven Tyler. You know, Steven, what can I say? He was a big influence to me since I was a kid, and he is sharp as ever. His ear is amazing, and he still sings incredibly well. I mean, you would never guess he's 70 years old, but he you know, inspires me every time, and I get to sing with him on stage. So.
Yeah, inspiration is definitely a word that comes full circle. You know, that you always mention. You have a great habit, if you will, of putting praise and spotlight on others. And so it's my opportunity today to throw that boomerang back to you and tell you what an inspiration and amount of appreciation that we have for you and what you do. You're a very successful talent, and we definitely recognize that as consumers of music.
Well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of talented, hardworking people out there, and I'm just one of them. I just work hard, keep my head down, and you know, it's like I said, you know, you get to do with what you love. You know, it's a blessing. So
Sure. Sure. Well, it's interesting. I would imagine your phone is probably the second most important instrument. First, you get a phone call just what, approximately 5 years ago from Steven Tyler on Mother's Day
right,
to
yeah,
join the band, and you're flying off to Istanbul, Turkey to join the group. And then just a few moments later, almost, it seems like you're getting a phone call to go and join Hollywood Vampires. I mean, how many more phone calls do you think you're going to get that's going to be higher than that? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, you can't get much better than that. But you know, I've always been a working musician, and it doesn't matter if I'm playing for 50 people or 50,000. You get the same show.
right.
And you know, I when I get to play my own music, it's different, and it's more pressure actually. And I recently did my friend Ken Johnson, no relation, but also from Birmingham, Alabama, does a songwriter series down in Seaside or Seagrove, I guess, near Destin in Florida. And you know, Ken's written a lot of great songs. He's very connected with a lot of songwriters. So I was, you know, fortunate that he asked me to come down and do one of his shows, and you know, it was probably a couple hundred people. And but yeah, I was nervous. Yeah, I was like, well, it's just you and one guitar or one keyboard, and I've done that before, but you know, that was very exciting, and for people to receive your songs and enjoy them, and that's always great to get to do. So hopefully, I get to do more of those in the near future. And but yeah, I mean, if the next gig comes around, it's be thankful for the work. And so yeah, I don't know if I could do much better than Aerosmith and the Hollywood Vampires, but you know, just want to keep working.
Well, I don't know how much more you could do. That's the pinnacle right there,
Well,
man.
no retirement. There's no in our business. You know, you got to keep working,
Right.
and the way you can make money in this business, because it's getting harder and harder, is live music, live performance.
Sure.
So I'm fortunate that, you know, being a songwriter and a producer, that you know, I really made most of my living performing live, which is, you know, it's still the best thing to do. You know, it's what I love to do the most.
Well,
Um, the travel can be tough, but I was raised on the road, so it's nothing really different for me. And I'm fortunate to have a wife who's been with me many years, who gets it and understands it. And you know, whenever she gets to come out on the road with me, she enjoys it for about 2 or 3 days, and then she's ready to
right.
go. So
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, I understand, as we've talked here recently, there's a possibility that some Buck Johnson music will be emerging in the future, not anytime real soon, but it is in the pipeline.
well, you know, I'm always writing, and so I have a lot of songs, and it's just a matter of deciding what kind of record I want to make this time, which I have an idea what it's going to be. It's going to be a rock album, and but you know, still not far from what the first one was as far as the way I sing. You know, soulful rock and roll. But um, you know, I think that with the schedule that I have with Aerosmith and the Vampires, it's going to slow it down until, you know, possibly later in the year. You know, I don't really set a deadline for myself at this point.
Sure.
I'm staying proactive and recording when I can, and but I think I've got the seeds of what it's going to be in place, and it seems pretty excited about it.
That's great, man. BuckJohnsonMusic.com is the website.
No, just Buck
Buck
Johnson.
Johnson.
BuckJohnson.com. But
BuckJohnson.com.
right, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Uh,
Right.
Buck Johnson Official on Instagram, and Buck Johnson Music on Facebook.
That's right.
Yeah,
Uh, so we'll keep an eye out for new music coming from you. We'll keep an eye out for your dates with
yeah,
Vampires and Aerosmith.
Well, like I said, you can on social media is the best way because I'm not one of these people that post 5 things every day, uh,
Right.
or maybe not even every day. But when I'm on the road, I post almost every day. So you'll hear more about what's going on with my music, a little bit what I can share with what's going on with Aerosmith and with Hollywood Vampires, and there's a lot of cross pollination between those two camps just because of Joe being involved in both and myself and so yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that if I don't post it, one of those guys will. So
Course, of course. Well, very, very, very excited for you. Very excited for all the members in both groups. And yeah, there's a lot of Johnsons in this mix. You've got Buck Johnson, Ken Johnson, and then the other side of the triple threat, which is the triple threat himself, is Damon Johnson.
yes, yeah.
It's
Well,
it's a
Damon, yeah, I know Damon, and you have worked together recently doing some shows on the West Coast. And Damon and I go way back to the bar days back in Birmingham, Alabama. And I left Birmingham to go to Los Angeles to get a record deal, and he stayed and he got one. And he's Brother Kane was an amazing rock band in the 90s and made some great records. And he and I reunited around 2000 when we did a tour with John Waite. I did a tour opening for Journey. And then he went on to start playing with Alice Cooper. So it's small world, a small business. Um, and then I convinced him to leave Alice Cooper and start this band Whiskey Falls with me back in 2006, 2007. And so it was a country band, but really, it was a rock band that, if it came out in the 70s. And we used to, since there was multiple singers, we used to say it was like Sweet Home Alabama meets Hotel California.
right.
So a little bit of Alabama, a little bit of California. Anyway, we had a good run with that, and then that ended, and Damon went back to playing with Alice Cooper, and then he joined Thin Lizzy, and then the Black Star Riders, and now he's doing his own thing again, which I'm really excited for him. He's got a new record out. You should check it out. DamonJohnson.com. I'll give him a little shout there.
There you
He's
go.
a brother to me, and Damon has worked with me on my recordings too. So,
Yes.
you just try to, I like to make music with my friends and people who inspire me and have fun doing it.
Yeah. I have to say I've never had the privilege of meeting Ken, but knowing both you and Damon, the name being the same, you guys could be brothers, both on and off the stage. And I'm very grateful to know both of you. And I hope everyone watching will take a listen to Damon and to Buck, aside from their own projects with bands, and look at them as individual artists in their own music and their own craft, because they're incredible. And they're really, really sincere, humble, good human beings. And with that being said,
Yeah. Thanks, Dean.
I appreciate your time. I
Sure.
hope that you have a great run on both sides of the groups, and all the best to you, Buck. All the best, brother.
I appreciate that, man. God bless.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Buck Johnson today, live from Nashville, Tennessee. You've been watching On the Patio, and kids, don't forget, get some sleep. Take care, Buck.
See you, man.
See you, man.
That's a wrap.